Welcome, you're watching Vox News, your daily news updates with Rita Kamkumo. Our headlines today: Nigerian President Muhammadu Buhari congratulates Dr. Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala on her appointment as the new chief of the World Trade Organization. SAHEL Lukonde, the Democratic Republic of the Congo's new prime minister, vows to fight insecurity in the country following his appointment by President Felix Tshisekedi. Guinean authorities commit to tackling the second Ebola epidemic that broke out in the country, as the death toll has now risen to 5. Our top story today: Nigerian economist Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala was appointed on Monday as the first female and first African head of the World Trade Organization at a general virtual meeting. Nigerian President Muhammadu Buhari congratulated her in a statement, saying that her emergence has brought joy and more honor to Nigeria. Buhari added that Dr. Okonjo-Iweala, who over the years set major records of economic reforms in Nigeria as Minister of Finance and later Minister of Foreign Affairs, will excel in her new position and validate the global mandate of repositioning and strengthening the multilateral institution for the greater good of all. Okonjo-Iweala will take office on the 1st of March, and her renewable mandate will run until the 31st of August 2025. On the political front, in the Democratic Republic of the Congo, President Felix Tshisekedi on Monday named SAHEL Lukonde as Prime Minister, following a prolonged power struggle with allies of his predecessor, Joseph Kabila.
Considering the necessity and urgency by order. Article 1. Mr. Jean-Michel Lukonde Kyenge is appointed Prime Minister, Head of Government.
43-year-old Lukonde, appointed chief of the state mining giant called Gécamines by President Tshisekedi in June 2019, vowed to make security one of the priorities of his new government.
Security. As you know, this will be one of the priority areas, particularly in the east of the Democratic Republic of the Congo and in Katanga province. It's going to require that we apply, with the government that's going to be formed, excessive good governance practices, rigor, anti-values and anti-fraud measures.
Lukonde succeeds Sylvestre Ilunga Ilunkamba, who was recently forced out after the coalition between Tshisekedi supporters and Kabila loyalists ended. He pledged to set up a government with greater participation of the youth and greater participation of women. Meanwhile, in the Democratic Republic of the Congo, a tragic boat accident that occurred on Sunday night is making headlines. The Congolese authorities announced on Monday that at least 60 people died after a boat sank in Lake Mai-Ndombe near the western village of Longola-Ikoti. The fateful boat was coming from the capital Kinshasa and heading to Mbandaka in the Equateur province. The Congolese Minister of Humanitarian Action, Steve Bikayi, said on Twitter that the boat had been overloaded with more than 700 passengers, alluding to the possible cause of the accident. Although the authorities have found 300 survivors so far, hundreds remain missing, according to the minister. On the health front, vaccinations against the Ebola virus have started in the Democratic Republic of the Congo, one of the two African countries hit by a new outbreak of the virus. The Congolese authorities on Monday launched an anti-Ebola vaccination campaign in Butembo just a week after the virus re-emerged, according to the World Health Organization. Medical workers at Matanda Hospital in the eastern Butembo city started receiving the vaccine after 4 cases, 2 of them deadly, emerged only 3 months after the country's last outbreak of the virus. So far, 43 people have been vaccinated out of 149 eligible contacts, including 20 people who were vaccinated during the previous outbreak in 2019, according to the global organization. Just like the Democratic Republic of the Congo, Guinea is facing a new outbreak of the Ebola epidemic. The new Ebola cases detected over the weekend in Guinea marked the first known resurgence of the virus in the West Africa region since a 2013-2016 epidemic that started in the country and killed over 11,000 people. Guinean authorities are, however, confident that they can end the latest epidemic of this virus.
The reasons for optimism are the lessons learned and the technological and scientific advances that we have seen between 2016 and now. In particular vaccines, rapid detection tests that are easier to use in the field, therapeutic methods as well, means of protection such as centers that make it possible to treat patients without direct exposure of caregivers or with better protection of families, as well as the lessons learned in community involvement. So by taking up all these achievements, we can be optimistic that we will not have a disaster on the scale of what happened last time.
President Alpha Condé on Monday officially declared a second outbreak of the Ebola virus in his country in a statement read by a news anchor on public television.
Faced with this situation and with a view to containing the disease very quickly, in addition to the prevention and control measures underway, the following measures are necessary in the prefecture of Guéké. A ban on weekly marches, religious and traditional ceremonies requiring gatherings for a period of 30 days, renewable if necessary, dignified and secure burials of all confirmed, suspect or probable cases of death by the authorized teams. In addition, the government informs the population that appropriate arrangements are being made to make vaccines available to vaccinate sick people's contact and contact of contact in isolation zones.
Guinean authorities said on Monday that 5 people have so far died of the virus as they started to roll out their response to the outbreak. On the security front, Chad's President Idriss Déby on Monday called for international support as G5 Sahel countries and former colonial ruler France began a 2-day summit in the Chadian capital, N'Djamena, focused on the future of their anti-jihadist campaign in the troubled Sahel region.
Our shared will to defeat terrorism in the Sahel as quickly as possible must be matched by real commitment. This field of mobilization of the G5 Sahel states must be supported and strengthened by the entire international community. The security situation on the ground remains a cause for concern. The terrorist threat extends its ramifications beyond the bastion of Lake Chad and throughout the Sahelo-Saharan region. Debt cancellation is an avenue that we must explore. The mobilization of substantial financing for the implementation of projects and programs included in the main development instruments of the G5 Sahel must be one of our main priorities. We urge all of our partners to provide us with the additional resources they have promised to enable us to carry out our programs.
The Chadian president added that Sahel countries are now facing even greater challenges, citing the challenges of poverty and consequent insecurity, the threat of terrorism, as well as the multidimensional consequences of the coronavirus pandemic. On the education front, schools reopened on Monday in South Africa after authorities pushed back the start of the 2021 school year by a few weeks to curb COVID-19 infections. Some parents, however, voiced concern about the virus, while teachers worried over the effects of irregular learning last year.
I am happy for him, although I have concerns because of we are in this pandemic. Like I have that questions that is he going to be safe or what, but then I just have to trust the system that they will take care of our children.
This COVID thing continues, they will have a challenge because they didn't learn much previous year, and I think even now they will come like after a day or two. So there is a lot that they are missing out.
Schools in South Africa were forced to remain closed longer than planned due to the emergence of a more virulent COVID-19 variant that has emerged in the country. On the international scene in the United Kingdom, mandatory hotel quarantine came into effect on Monday for all United Kingdom residents arriving from 33 countries deemed high risk for COVID-19 variants. The new quarantine measures came as the United Kingdom tries to stop the spreading of these new strains. The government is yet to release a list of hotels taking part in the scheme. In Myanmar, people gathered on Monday outside the Chinese embassy in Yangon in a new protest against coup leaders. Beijing earlier this month urged all parties in the country to resolve their differences after the army seized power and detained democratically elected leader and Nobel Peace Laureate Aung San Suu Kyi. Last but not least, in Libya, golf enthusiasts are happy to participate in a golf tournament in the eastern port city of Benghazi that resumed after years of interruption due to war.
We have been suffering. It is very difficult. Through our own efforts, we organized practice matches and club matches. We didn't receive any support before. Only individual donations, but this year we received support. This is a well-known and international game as it was established in Libya in 1940 during the British occupation, a long time ago. We hope that the state supports this game.
The golf tournament stopped in 2014 due to the unrest that occurred in Benghazi, but resumed in 2020 after a nearly 7-year break, with golfers now seeking support to help maintain the competition. That's it for today. Thank you for watching Vox News.